Hello beautiful people, it's Darren here from Art by Darren. Let's paint some watercolour. So the subject today is this photo I took on a boat coming into, I suppose it's a ship really, coming into Venice, and it was the morning, so sunrise. So I'm just drawing this very quickly, very simply. Remember when you're drawing water, especially from far away, you usually have a straight line at the bottom of your islands and etc. So starting off here with some magenta, it's quinacridone magenta, and some Naples yellow, just to get this kind of sunrise vibe. I didn't want it to be really yellow and red because you saw the photo, it wasn't. But I did want this kind of translucent look that you can get by using Naples yellow and the wisteria that I'm using here as well. They both have a little bit of white in them, so it gives you more of a translucent kind of look to your watercolours. So this is just the first layer. You really can't go wrong when you're making clouds, just any shape that you'd like. This is definitely more colourful than the photograph. I didn't want to paint it all really grey. And adding a little bit of cobalt blue in here with the wisteria, just to give variety of colour and textures. You can see there with the wisteria, it's a lot like cobalt violet. It granulates, which means it leaves little pockets of pigment that are in the paper. That's a granulating paint. So here adding a bit of ultramarine with a touch of burnt sienna, that's just to grey it off. I started painting this water the same as in the photograph, and this is one of the problems with painting from photographs. You can kind of get drawn into the photograph and sort of paint it just as it is, where I wanted to be more colourful than the photograph. So here I'm adding some burnt sienna and ultramarine blue in a thicker consistency. I did make a mistake here. You can see I'm still using my mop brush, and that actually contains too much water and too much pigment. So when you're doing anything with a finer detail, you really need to change your brushes down. I mean, I made it work, but I really should have changed my brush when I want to paint something thicker without as much water. So here adding that colour up into the clouds as well, and still not realising that I hadn't put the Naples yellow and wisteria into the water. I was just totally oblivious. But you can see here making a really thick mixture, and that will just sit there when, because everything's still wet of course, but when you make a stronger mixture like that, it'll just sit where you put it. So here I've dried it in between, and now we're going to add a little bit of blue. I just wanted this little bit of blue where the sky was. I don't know why, I just did. Who knows why people do things when they're painting, but I did it. And I'm going to add a second layer of clouds using the burnt sienna and ultramarine to get that beautiful grey. And here you'll see it gives us these nice hard edges, the curves on the top of the clouds. But what I'm going to do in a second is rinse my brush out, dry off most of the water, and then just the water, and just run it along the bottom of the clouds so that they sort of disappear into the colours underneath. So if I wanted the whole cloud to disappear, like on all the edges, I would do that same thing. Wash my brush out, get most of the water out, and then run it along the edges, and that gives you a softened edge. But I do want these kind of hard and soft edges to give me the shape of my clouds. So here I'm just adding a little bit of this darker colour and a little bit of blue in there as well, just to give the islands, because they're all islands there with Venice, give them a bit more interest. I painted it as dark as the photograph, and I really shouldn't have. I should have gone in with a lot lighter colours, I think. It draws your eye way too much, and for me the picture is about the sun. It's not really about the place. I mean, of course you have to paint the place, but it was about the sunrise. Now here I finally remembered, let's put some wisteria and some Naples yellow and cadmium red down into the water just to give it balance, and you can see how that changes the look of the picture. Now painting the sun, using cadmium red and a little bit of yellow and Naples yellow, and I think I used some Aurelian there as well. So here's the first one, just in a sketch, and I did paint it in an A4 size. So here what I've done, I moved the horizon line up, and now I've done it, I don't like it up that high. I think I would leave it low and just really have more focus on the clouds. Again, I forgot with the whole colours into my water, so I had to add them afterwards. And here I'm showing you a little technique that if you want to put some white in, you can use the white gel pen just like paint and soften the edges of it as well. Here I'm adding that little bit of magenta in, so it's really like a pink when it's got a lot of water in it, and the Naples yellow and cadmium red and the wisteria, just to balance those colours out again. So using the gel pen here, you could use gouache, white gouache, but a gel pen works pretty well. Sometimes it doesn't catch on the paper, but you know, when it works well. So here, just surrounding my sun with white, and then just adding some highlights onto the top of the water there, and signing as well. So what do you think? Which one do you prefer? The first sketch or the second one? The first is definitely more moody, but I think the second one really describes my feelings more, that when I was there, which are lighter and it was fun. Also, I think that second one, I'm going to drop the horizon down again and make the land smaller and more colourful as well. So thanks so much for joining me today. Please like, share and subscribe for more watercolours and more mixed media and more DIYs. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
With you and I, the future